The name Tommy Morrison once conjured the image of a Hollywood hero, blonde, handsome, with a powerful left hook that earned him the nickname the Duke, after his purported great-uncle, John Wayne. He was a spectacular heavyweight champion, starring alongside Sylvester Stallone in Rocky V, a fighter who seemed destined for generational stardom. But the story of Tommy Morrison quickly turned into one of the darkest cautionary tales in sports history. A rapid, tragic descent from the pinnacle of boxing fame into a spiral of disease, denial, and death. The dark story of his final years is a chilling chronicle of a life utterly derailed, beginning with a devastating 1996 diagnosis that forced him to confront mortality and ending in a confusing, heartbreaking legal and medical battle that defined the rest of his life. This is not just a boxing tragedy. It's a terrifying narrative of fame, denial, and the irreversible consequences of choices made outside the ring. A story that deserves to be told with the brutal honesty that characterized his short, brilliant career. The beginning of Tommy Morrison's dark reality started not in the ring, but in a doctor's office in February 1996, when he tested positive for HIV, effectively ending his professional boxing career overnight. This diagnosis was the explosion that shattered his world, leading to an immediate cancellation of an anticipated fight and the revocation of his boxing license. The initial reaction from Morrison was a public and emotional confession, where he apologized to his fans and vowed to become an advocate for safe sex, appearing to accept the gravity of his situation. However, this period of acceptance was shockingly brief, quickly giving way to a years-long pattern of intense denial, erratic behavior, and repeated attempts to dismiss or refute the medical facts of his condition. He frequently violated parole, resulting in multiple short prison sentences for drug and alcohol-related offenses, and eventually became entangled in radical conspiracy theories, claiming that his initial positive test was a false positive or part of a corrupt system targeting him. This profound psychological denial became the central tragedy of his final years, an agonizing conflict between undeniable scientific truth and a desperate need to cling to the possibility of reclaiming his life and career, driving him away from the treatment he desperately needed. As his denial deepened, Tommy Morrison's life devolved into a cycle of legal battles, reckless comeback attempts, and increasing medical skepticism, which characterized the early 2000s. Despite the HIV diagnosis, he attempted several times to return to professional fighting, fueled by the false belief that he was either cured or never had the virus at all. He successfully fought 2 low-profile bouts in 2007 and 2008, benefiting from lax licensing requirements in smaller jurisdictions. But these returns were shadowed by questions over the validity of his negative test results, which many experts dismissed as unreliable or fraudulently obtained. This obsession with returning to the ring, driven by his refusal to accept his fate, alienated him from many in the boxing community who feared for his health and the safety of his opponents. Furthermore, his legal troubles escalated, including a nearly 2-year prison sentence in 2002 for drug possession, assault, and other charges. His final years were spent largely out of the public eye, often struggling financially and emotionally, living proof that fame and physical prowess offer no shield against the destructive forces of denial and addiction. The absolute darkest period of Tommy Morrison's life unfolded in the years immediately leading up to his death in 2013, involving a confusing and emotional medical and legal conflict surrounding his final illness. In August 2013, he was hospitalized and confirmed to be in critical condition. His wife, Tricia Morrison, staunchly maintained that he did not have HIV, claiming his symptoms were due to a different illness, possibly a rare autoimmune disorder, and repeatedly refused to allow doctors to release his medical records or confirm his HIV status to the public. This created a bizarre, painful public spectacle, with former managers, family members, and medical professionals expressing deep concern over his care and the ongoing refusal to acknowledge the HIV diagnosis. Ultimately, official records confirmed that Morrison died from Pseudomonas aeruginosa sepsis, caused by multi-organ failure and septic shock, a common complication of a severely compromised immune system consistent with the late stages of AIDS. The final dark truth is that his life ended amid this whirlwind of confusion, denial, and medical controversy, leaving behind a legacy tragically defined not just by his powerful left hook, but by the devastating consequences of a diagnosis he spent over 15 years refusing to accept. In conclusion, the story of Tommy Morrison's final years is a heartbreaking and powerful tragedy. He was a champion with the world at his feet, who saw his meteoric career extinguished by an HIV diagnosis in 1996. The subsequent 2 decades were a relentless battle, not against an opponent in the ring, but against the truth of his own health, a denial that ultimately cost him his life. His dark reality was defined by a profound psychological struggle, repeated legal troubles, and a final, agonizing medical controversy where the truth was obscured by denial until his last breath. Morrison's life serves as a stark, unforgettable reminder that in the face of serious illness, denial is not a shield, but a weapon that can inflict the ultimate, irreversible damage, turning a dazzling athletic career into a somber, cautionary tale for the ages.